I grew up with a stepdad who was the local window cleaner. He started cleaning our windows, then started cleaning them on the inside. We had the cleanest windows in the village for some reason. I was like, this is interesting. I'm a diagnosed workaholic. I will easily choose working on that script over looking after myself.
Can you get the wine up, for Christ's sake?
If we're going to talk about feelings, I'm going to need lubrication. The most Gareth Southgate thing he did was that he didn't really think he was worthy of a story. He hadn't won a trophy. But also, because he's Gareth Southgate, even though he sort of hated it, he helped me do it.
You go to Broadway and it gets taken off quite early.
Probably less than 2 months.
Less than 2 months.
It was bad. I was embarrassed. I was like really embarrassed.
Were you?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Table Manners. I'm Jessie Ware. It's a beautiful day in South London.
Darling.
You look fabulous. I like the red.
Do you? It matches my lips.
It's good. It's working, Lenny.
It's good.
We are so excited about the guests today.
I can't wait.
So we have the phenomenal James Graham, who is a playwright, a screenwriter. He's a national treasure. He's got an OBE.
I know.
For his services to drama. If you don't know who James Graham is, you may have heard of the hugely successful play that was at the National and then transferred to the West End called Dear England, which was all about Gareth Southgate's kind of reign and vision with the England squad and how he really turned things around for us. He's also made musicals, Tammy, Faye, which was hugely popular at the Almeida.
Sherwood,
the
Fantastic.
Nottingham drama, which is so good.
Yeah.
And Punch, which is based on a real life story that happened in Nottingham where a man called Jacob punched a man called James on a night out and with one punch killed him. His parents created a relationship with the killer of their child. It's so amazing. He is one of our most cherished and celebrated playwrights in Britain and just kind of around the world too. He's incredible. But he's coming on to talk about Dear England being made into a BBC TV show.
That everyone's going to love.
I mean, I took Sam to Dear England at the National.
You all.
Oh yeah, you got us the tickets. Yeah. Thank you. The whole of the National Theatre, which is, you know, we love the National Theatre, we're all hollering Sweet Caroline.
And dancing at the end.
It was so brilliant. And I think this is going to be so exciting for everyone to see it. I am on food duty.
I know.
Because it's really nice weather. I've made 2 salads. One is from the brilliant book Jerusalem by Yotam Ottolenghi and Sami Tamimi. And I've made this, I've never made it before, but it was quite straightforward. It's fennel and chicken and chilies and basil and mint and all these beautiful herbs. And then you make this cooked orange saffron honey sauce, which kind of almost tastes like marmalade. So you griddle the chicken and it's got this kind of sweet orange dressing. I think it will cut through with all the herbs and the chili. So I've done that. And then I've done this roasted cauliflower, pistachio and pomegranate salad, which is from Ottolenghi's Simple. And then I've got a bit of a sad loaf.
What happened, Jess? It was all
I
right.
think I overproofed it yesterday.
It's not the proofing, it's it's the cooking.
No, it's not
dark.
that. No, the dark is fine. I don't mind that.
Oh.
But I don't think I left my starter to rise for long enough. I think I was too keen to use it yesterday.
You actually know that, do you?
I'm starting to understand Helen the starter. Okay. And you've made 2 puddings.
Well, I made a cardamom and pistachio cake yesterday, and it does have a kind of caramelised almond and sugar topping with butter on the top. But I wondered if it felt a bit hard and felt like a giant biscuit, and I thought, I'm not going to let myself down. So I got up this morning and I've made a Lisbon chocolate cake from the New York Times.
Yeah, what makes it Lisbon?
I have no idea. Someone tasted it in Lisbon.
Oh, okay.
And so it's basically a chocolate cake, but kind of very limited. It's like butter, cocoa, chocolate and corn flour, but no flour, and eggs. That's the cake. And then it's got a chocolate mousse on the top. Yeah.
And I've got some raspberry sorbet that you told me to get.
Good. Well, that was to go with the cardamom cake.
So are we going to try the pistachio cake? Because you do have a dinner party tomorrow, just in case the pistachio cake's okay.
Yeah.
We're going to not serve the chocolate mousse.
No, I think we should serve the chocolate mousse.
Fine.
Because I don't know that will travel that well.
Okay. James Graham coming up on Table Manners. James Graham.
Hello.
We're so excited to have you. Why are you being like, no, you're a big deal.
I love you guys.
biggest
Also, like,
deal.
no one will know who I am.
Shut up.
Like, playwrights are so anonymous, and rightly so. Like, we meant to be, like, really
only
private.
Tony nominee, Olivier Award winning,
That's
makes
true.
kind of the best dramas on television, writes a play every other day.
Yeah.
Sure.
Congratulations on Punch.
Thank you. Yeah, it was
I
great.
went to see it.
I know you did. I remember.
I think I went just after the press night, or just at the end of previews.
At the Young Vic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for
And
coming.
that was one of the most arresting first halves I've ever seen of any play. He was unbelievable.
David,
that guy.
yeah, he was brilliant. Yeah, David
it was
Shields.
like
Yeah.
I didn't know him, and I felt like he's set up now. I'm sure he was acting before and doing very, very well, but
Yeah.
that was a defining role for him.
Yeah, he got
playing
Olivia
Jacob.
nominated as well. But it's I'm so glad you got to see it. It's one of those stories that you come across very rarely. That like I can never like talk about it without like nearly bursting into
Yeah,
tears. It's
right.
like such a moving story of this guy Jacob, real guy from Nottingham, who on a night out, lads, gangs, drink, punched somebody and without meaning to killed them with a one punch.
Yeah.
And it's just that rare story of it's a story about masculinity and men in the criminal justice system that ends really positively. And basically what happens is the parents reach out to him and go on a journey of restorative justice where basically like the mother forgives him for killing her son and saves his life. Like decides she's going to help him, and now he got a PhD at university.
Done TED Talks.
Now he's done TED Talks. He goes into prisons and saves other young lads.
I haven't
and
seen it yet. I will go.
I'm going to turn it into a TV drama so you can.
You're really
give it a whirl. Yeah.
How does
yeah.
that work with like who plays who?
We don't know. Like
Right.
you do the great thing about TV, and then the sad thing is about you sort of do hand it up to the gods and things like that. But no, I'm loyal to that cast, and I will fight for them to the ends of the earth.
Speaking of TV gods, you are a bit of a TV god anyway, but you've just made your amazing Dear England into a TV show, and that's why you're coming on today. Even though we have been wanting you for a very long
I know,
time,
you're
haven't
really
we?
patient. I don't know why I keep fucking up and not coming on. I'm so
really kept
sorry.
us,
Because I want
keen,
to
but-
list all the ones I have seen.
Go on
and I
then.
forgot to mention Ink, which I absolutely adored about
I didn't
Rupert
see that.
Murdoch.
We're just about to release that as a movie.
Are you?
Yeah, Danny
Who's
Boyle,
playing Rupert Murdoch?
Wow.
Guy Pearce, Australian actor.
Oh,
He's,
Oh yeah, that guy, Memento.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Memento, yeah,
Neighbours.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Neighbours, great, yeah.
Perfect.
Danny Boyle, who's directed the movie, he really wanted a proper Aussie to play Murdoch, to imbue that
It was such
authenticity.
But
so.
who did I watch play it at the
You'd have seen
Almeida?
Bertie Carville.
Bertie Carville.
He won like an Olivia
He
Tony
was
for that. Yeah.
sensational,
He was great.
yeah.
He's in the film as well, playing a different
Yeah.
part. But yeah, so it's fun.
God, you don't stop.
Well, Ink was like 8 years ago, and that took
Yeah.
me so long to
I
get
went with
that
Hannah.
screenplay right. It took me ages. It was in development hell, but not like in
Oh,
a good way.
really?
Just in development hell in my head. Like no one was sharing the hell with me. I just couldn't crack it.
Do you ever collaborate with people in the writing room, or is it all just you?
Writing just me, yeah. But
Okay.
like the joy of being like a playwright or screenwriter rather than a novelist is really collaborative. Like you go into a rehearsal room and there's actors and there's directors and there's a set designer, or like on Dear England, there's a choreographer. So in the script, I just get to go and now they do some penalties and hand that over to somebody, and then they work it out, and it's great.
And Ez Devlin did the lighting, who is just so
Incredible. The set,
incredible.
yeah, Ez Devlin, yeah.
She did the set
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
lighting, sorry.
yeah.
She did the set, which, okay, so you're on to talk about Dear England, which we both watched at the National Theatre.
Thank you for going.
And such a pleasure.
I think we were there the second week.
It was so wonderful. My husband,
Uplifting.
who hasn't always gone to the theatre, who I'm like, you're coming to the theatre with me. It was like the perfect entry point for
Okay,
him.
yeah.
I think
hope
it was your
so.
Christmas present. I
Mum
treated
got us
you.
tickets,
Oh, go on.
and we went. And by is it the first half we're all singing Sweet Caroline or whatever? But Sam was like, oh, okay, this can be the theatre. Fine,
Yeah.
great, thanks.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
he
good,
then
I'm
tells
glad.
his brother to go, so it did bring in a different kind of national theatre
Yeah.
audience.
But that was always the hope and dream, and that's got nothing to do with me. That's just like the hope was by telling a football story that a non-traditional theatre crowd would come and
Why
see
are you
it.
so humble? Of course, it's got everything to do with you. You decided to tell Gareth Southgate's story and
I
how
just
he
mean,
transformed the
Those
England.
lads aren't coming to see me; they're coming to see because it's a story that they care about football. And I know I
Yeah,
came up with the
but
idea and all
it's
that. but-
amazing.
I think people came because it was a James Graham play, and there were lots of old
Exactly.
fuddy-duddies there, and then they were on their feet all going Sweet
It was
Caroline at
such
the end,
a
which was
beautiful
amazing.
energy in the room. Like
Thank
it was
you.
so amazing, and I'm so happy that it's
And
been
we
so
cheered
successful.
for our every favourite footballer that came
I
on.
know.
Marcus!
And then
Mark
it was,
Griffin.
Harry.
it was so special. And then, Joseph Fiennes was phenomenal.
Yeah, so he's playing in the TV drama as well,
which
which is
we've
great.
watched 2 episodes.
Oh, I didn't
It's
know
on
that.
Yeah, we
BBC.
watched
Yeah.
last night. Yeah, I watched last night.
And it's got a different energy, of course, because it's not a play that's done in 2 hours.
Yeah,
it's
right.
a 4-parter.
It's a 4-parter. And also, no, you're right. Like, I didn't find that really easy as well, because the joy of the stage plays, it's theatre, so there's like an abstract language to it, whereas telly is so naturalistic.
that's the chicken.
But also the football's different. So you actually see matches, which for me is thrilling because I love football.
Great, good,
and whereas it was more choreographed.
Yeah, it's like a dance
and
on
your
stage.
imagination, and it was a dance.
Yeah.
So it was a more serious. It was more serious in some respects because you address things like racism.
Yeah.
Which you do in the play.
Yeah, you do, but not as. I don't feel it was as in depth. You didn't get the emotion quite
I think that's
as
probably
much.
true. Like, I guess on telly, there's something about like the lens.
Yeah.
You feel like more interior in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
actor's
yeah.
head.
You
where
can
there's
see their
something-
face.
I loved it on stage for what like Ez and Rupert and the director, people like did that because it felt like you were in a stadium. And
Yes.
you dancing and cheering, and then TV just had to have a different like grammar. You have to find a different quality to it.
But I do think you honoured the stage play because it was quite bombastic with Ez Devlin's design.
Yeah.
With it, the kind of big zoom, there was big sound effects,
Great
and it was,
sound,
and I feel like you did that in the TV show without kind of giving too much away. It's captivating and it's very exciting.
It's exciting.
And
I hope so. I just find it a bit like Punch. I find the story so moving, but also it's like a really hopeful story. Like I think Gareth Southgate's project, and like loads of people have different views of the England manager, and that's their right, and it's everyone's England. It's not just mine. But I think what he did to transform the culture of that team and those young lads.
Have you met him?
I have, yeah.
What's he like? Is he as gorgeous and sincere and kind?
All those things. And like the most Gareth Southgate thing he did was that he obviously was a bit nervous about having an actor play him, and he didn't really think he was worthy of a story. He hadn't won a trophy, so he thought, well, why are you doing a play about me? But also because he's Gareth Southgate, even though he sort of hated it, he helped me do it because he thought, well, I want to help you. So he brought me to St George's, and I got to meet all of his team, and we've stayed in contact since as he moves on to the next phase of his life and works out what he wants to do. So whether or not he'll ever watch it, I totally get why. Like, would you watch it?
He's never been to see the play?
No, family have, kids have, his
He's
mates
just never
have.
seen it.
And I get why. I think because the idea of people watching him, watching himself, that's just not who he is.
But he can watch it on iPlayer,
He
can't he?
can, but even if he doesn't want to, I would totally get, like, would you watch an actor playing you if they did the biopic? When they do the biopic?
I don't know. I love you.
Of course they will.
As long as they're
Natalie
gorgeous.
Cassidy playing Jessie there.
Just doing this now.
Did you get the approval of all the actors?
The real people.
For the real people. Say,
No.
So Marcus didn't have to approve who was playing him?
No, it's a really good question. It's like I think about this all the time, actually, like what the moral responsibility is when you're doing a real life story. And like you want to respect them, and you don't want to, there's loads of laws. You can't just destroy someone's character because you don't like them. But equally, you need the distance as well. Like they can't endorse it because they've got to both defend them and prosecute them in a way. You've got to celebrate them, but you've also got to go, what did Gareth Southgate get wrong? Was he good at this or was he bad at this? Do you agree with him? So we never sought an endorsement from the FA or the players because I have a public responsibility to not be doing, they do it quite a lot now, sadly, don't they? All these musical films coming out about bands and artists, and it's the estate that control them, and you just think that's bad.
Like Harry Kane, because he's Sam's favourite.
Well, I feel like you portrayed him slightly differently in the TV
screen.
show.
Yes, he was different in the TV
because there
than
was a lot
theatre.
of discussion about whether it was kind of slightly too comedic in.
Yeah, I read that.
And that's probably from Spurs fans, and but like also I feel like there was it brought a lot of laughs.
It was an interesting thing,
and it was brilliant. But I feel like you've definitely gone away from that in the TV show.
He seems sharper. More.
Was that accidental, just because of kind of?
A little bit.
The actor played it.
I think the actor Will
brilliant.
Close, he won an Olivier Award for playing it, and I think he just nailed it. But I think something does happen in a theatre where when people are laughing, like 1,000 people are laughing, I think I didn't feel this, but I think sometimes people thought, "Oh God, am I laughing at him rather than with him?" And we tried to tell that story. Like he had a whole scene in the play where he goes, "I know people take the piss out of my voice, and they think I'm not very smart, and I'm not a normal leader in the sense that." He's not fireworks. He's very thoughtful. He's a very decent, kind man. I think he's one of the greatest captains England have ever had because he carries with him a kind of nobility that is quieter than Beckham or Rooney. But I heard some people think that they thought just by being in a room where everyone's just really enjoying the impression. So on telly, we just wanted to make sure that because there's not that laughter, that you get in his head a little bit more. But,
Can we just big up Harry? Because last night was probably one of the best.
Did you watch the match last night?
I saw the score.
It was amazing.
He scored his 59th goal of the season last night.
It's unbelievable.
And he's 59 top goal scorer now
for Bayern.
England, of course. Yeah, beat Rooney's record during our story. It's extraordinary. He's one of the greats. He's one of the greats. But it's not just his performance. I maintain. It's what he represents. Like how many male role models do lads have now? And he's just a good man, and I just think that's brilliant.
Who do you support?
I feel it is Nottingham Forest, but I had to just like hold my hand up. I'm one of them fair weather people. Like I dropped out for a lot of my teenage years, and when they started doing better, I did come back to it. But and so I have to hold my hands up for that. But
do you like football?
I've always loved England. I don't know what it is. Possibly like I was like quite a shy, introverted kid, and like I was a theatre kid. I did ice skating. I wore tights and sparkly things.
Were you good at ice skating?
I was pretty good.
Well, isn't Torben Dean from
great
Nottingham?
Heritage, yeah. I skated on that ice. And
were they the people that you were like looking at?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously that wasn't a traditionally masculine thing, and there's issues like when you're working out your sexuality and I was just not that blokey kid. I hated PE. I felt so nervous in PE. So wrongly, I had a resistance to like club football week by week, which I completely got over now. I was at City Ground a couple of weeks ago. I saw Forest beat Spurs 3-0 at Spurs Stadium, at the Tottenham Stadium. So I love it now, but I always just had a bit of a love-hate with weekly football.
So you grew up in Nottingham.
Oh, yes.
We're going in now.
Therapy, good.
Can you get the wine up, for Christ's sake?
If we're going to talk about feelings, I'm going to need lubrication.
Right. Whilst producer Alice opens the wine, grew up in Nottingham.
Nottinghamshire.
Nottinghamshire.
In a mining village in the north, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so you weren't, how far away from Nottingham?
About 40 minutes on the bus.
Where was your nearest M&S?
M&S?
Well, for your food shopping and your
Absolutely
underwear.
not. It was Iceland and Safeway.
Oh, Iceland.
I couldn't believe when I moved to London that M&S did food. I remember thinking, I thought they just did bad shirts. Not good shirts.
Are you kidding? We love M&S.
I love it now.
Where did you get your underwear from?
Probably Debenhams.
Debenhams.
But it's like Mansfield was my biggest town.
And Mansfield, a big mining town.
Yeah. Well, they were all closing down when I was growing up. So that was informed, I think, a lot of my politics.
And informed Sherwood.
Yes.
Which we'll talk about later. Right. But so who was around the dinner table and what were you eating?
I've been thinking about this because of coming on. I was just going to own it. Like, we didn't sit around the dinner table.
Okay.
We sat with it
on
with a tray on our lap, telly dinners.
Well, that's how you've got so interested in drama.
Loved it. I mean, yeah. And I don't know whether, like, it's not, definitely wasn't like across the, like, it's a working class upbringing in a mining town, but then I knew mates who always sat at the dinner table and they were very proud of that, but for some reason that just wasn't in our, so I what neighbours in Coronation Street. My dad, with my parents divorced, my dad lived close to Nottingham and he worked for the local council.
And what did your mum work?
Mum did loads of jobs. So when I was growing up, she worked in the local pub as a barmaid. And then she worked in a warehouse where I got my first job. And then she worked as a receptionist in a primary school. She was always doing, and then worked in a shop at the weekend. She was always doing loads of jobs.
And there were just the two of you?
And I had a twin sister who lived with me.
Oh, wow, you've got a twin.
Got a twin.
I've never realised that.
Her name is Laura. She loved drama as well. We did plays at school together. And I've got an older brother, Richard, who has come into the film world as well. He's an editor.
And I know Richard.
I didn't know that.
Because he went out with Harriet, my friend. Yeah. So I've been in France with Richard at weddings.
You never told me that.
Oh, well, obviously didn't leave an impact on it.
No,
there you go.
Yeah.
But he was lovely.
He probably wanted to keep you to himself.
No, he was very lovely.
He's very sweet.
And I remember him being quite intense when we were both drunk. And I enjoy intensity, so it was great.
Right. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers, thank you so much for having me.
Are you kidding? We are such fans. Congratulations.
Bless you. That's really
Cheers,
kind.
darling.
My friends, I can't believe I'm here.
Oh, please.
I can, I don't care. But my friends,
Oh, who are your friends?
they're obsessed with you.
You should have brought them over.
No. I need something. I need some status.
Okay.
So when you were eating your food
Yeah.
on your lap, watching telly, what were you watching?
Soaps like Corrie, Emmerdale, EastEnders,
Is that your
Neighbours.
favourite?
It was when I was growing up. I don't watch it much now, just because of time. But I loved the rhythm of it, like the rhythm
Yeah.
of that life. You come back every evening and see what happened next. I was obsessed. Like, oh my god! Like when we went on a holiday, and like holidays were in a caravan in Mansfield. We would go to a field and be there for 2 weeks in our same town.
In your same town?
Yeah. So
How
like,
sweet.
I remember the. Was it the '92 Olympics? We just watched it in a field, and I could like see my house, and we was like pretending we're on holiday.
Sweet.
Whenever we go away, I get all my neighbours to record the soaps on the VHS tapes, and then come back and watch them for hours.
Omnibus.
Oh my god, the omnibus! I'd watch that after watching it in the week.
Oh, I love it.
So I
What were
loved
you
it.
eating on the telly dinner? With the telly dinner?
It was like, this is no shade on like my family, but it wasn't like a cookie house. It is now. I think that's changed culturally in a lot of these places, but at the time, sometimes microwave dinners. But like my vegetables was often mushy peas in a tin. But then Sunday dinners were massive, like Sunday roast. That was huge.
Okay.
I used to love that.
Who came for that?
Again, that'd just be family. I grew up with a stepdad who was the local window cleaner, who he started cleaning our windows, then started cleaning them on the inside. We had the cleanest windows in the village for some reason. I was like, this is interesting. And then he just stayed. He was very sweet. So my stepdad, my sister, my brother, and my mum, yeah.
What was your roast of choice? Did your mum change it up?
We always change it up, but I remember actually when my grandma was alive, my mum's mum, she was the school dinner lady. And she was so...
At your school?
No, at a different school locally, but there was just something about and again, I don't think my nan was like a massive cook, but on the things that she did, like those kinds of puddings or those school dinners, she just had her, I can't remember what it was, her particular way that used to really stress my mum out. So I think it was equivalent of having Gordon Ramsay in the kitchen when my nan was there. And it was only like roast chicken or roast beef.
She had an opinion
Yorkshire
on
puddings, roast veg, but she
Not
had an
like
opinion.
me at all.
No, not like you at all.
But my mum could always sort of feel her, like, what are you doing with the veg in that? And like she would just feel the pressure of the school dinner lady.
Did it end up in a fight?
Just passive aggression, really.
Oh, okay.
Which is very healthy.
Didn't let it out, okay.
No, push it down. Let it stay there for 20, 30 years.
fab.
And just, I think it's what Dear England's about, just pushing those feelings down, not talking about them, and just hoping that'll be okay.
How is it being a twin?
I didn't notice. Obviously, why would you? Because you don't know any different, do you? I sometimes forget I'm a twin. Like after I go, I've got a sister. Oh, and she was born on the same day as me. I forget that. Like,
Do you look alike?
No, she's blonde. She's the only blonde in our family. I was very. I don't think she'd mind me saying this. Like when she came out, she was quite big, and then I flopped out after. I was absolutely tiny.
Right, yeah.
Like I think if I hadn't have blinked, they'd have thrown me away. Then they put me in an incubator for weeks while she went home.
Had all the milk.
Started
Had all the
driving
milk,
and so she was. I was very, very small and very wee growing up, and she was just more confident.
So were you quite thin growing up?
I was tiny, yeah. And I think I did have an anxiety about food. I was very, very skinny all the way through my teenage years, which I used to hate. Now I'm like, God, I wish I was skinny now.
But
What are you talking about? You're tiny.
Well, it's
Tiny.
like the effort you have to put in just to stay the same.
Did your mum worry about you eating?
No, but I think I was a bit indulged. Again, no blame, but like I like those things. I don't really like to diverge. So I remember when I go to friends' house, I would get really anxious about what they would serve me, and there's a bit of a, like on my dad's side of the family, there was that culture. He's like parents of, if you don't finish, you keep
Can't
going
leave
and keep
the
going.
table.
No, so you have it the next day and the next day and the next day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I totally get why. But I remember this awful day. I used to be anxious about milk for some reason.
You didn't like it?
It was something like psychologically about it. And breakfasts again. Breakfast was just cereal growing up, Cocoa Pops and Frosties, and but it had to be semi-skimmed milk. If it was too fat, I just had a
like
reaction. And my dad used to tolerate this. And then I remember one day I thought he poured in fat milk and didn't like it, but it was the right milk. he changed it and he gave me my brother's, which was the wrong milk. And then I tasted the wrong milk and realised my mistake. And understandably, it was like, I'm sick of this. And I had to finish that bowl of cereal. It took me about 4 days. And I used to know in the morning I have to come back to it and look at it and go. I was just like a very nervous kid.
Do you still speak to your dad?
Yes, I love him. He's gorgeous.
I'd give him the wrong milk on his cereal.
Was it just because they were like, you're not wasting food?
I think I came from a really good place. Like, I'm so glad that I was in the polite way would be like encouraged to like face my fears and try new things. And eventually I did. Now I love food now, but that only came because I needed to give my head a bit of a wobble and like address my fear around it, and that only happens by facing it.
What was your favourite meal when you were little?
It would have been, I loved an English breakfast and loved the roast dinners, like curries and things, but like meat, definitely meat. So vegetables. One of my first jobs was on the till at my local supermarket. And just because I hadn't really grown up with many fresh vegetables in my life, I remember the first day I'd see things coming down the conveyor belt and I hadn't a clue what they were. And obviously you have to get your sheet out and go, that's a butternut squash. I'd never seen a butternut squash in my life. Or definitely every courgette went through as a cucumber. So I had to just like sort myself out and go, there's all these opportunities and there's all these...
I don't think my mum ever cooked broccoli or courgettes. I mean, it was kind of exotic.
Yeah, I think that has really changed. We had
peas or we had carrots.
Right, yeah. But most of the veg came out of the freezer. And that's really changed now. I'm like, my mum's got all these cookery books and it's really exciting. And a big long cook is one of my favourite things with my friends, taking 5-6 hours.
So can you cook?
Yes. I mean, my friends would say no. I just need to protect the time. Like, you have to protect the time, don't you? And I that's what I struggle with. I'm a diagnosed like workaholic, and I will easily choose working on that script over looking after myself. And it's taken like friends and family to tease me out and go and cook, like have a Sunday off and let's cook a lovely dinner.
So I've heard you're a workaholic. And you say you're diagnosed. Does that mean you've been in therapy to try and deal with it? Yeah, and
I used to feel so anxious about talking about it because there's something about, I guess there's a perception, and I get where it comes from, that as addictions go, it's a bit made up. Like, just, it's not the chemical addiction of alcohol or drugs, or surely you control how much you work.
It must give you some endorphins.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I've
it's like
learned
running
to be
or something.
It's any addiction, I guess, is filling some kind of hole in your life, isn't it? It's like a vacuum because you're not dealing with something, or I know it's definitely chemical, but the dopamine hits I get from. I guess when I realised it was a problem, is because my behaviours and certainly I noticed I was lying, like, to my friends about, in the exact same way you go, oh, I haven't had a drink today, or I've only had one glass. I would say, and I got up at a normal time, and I hadn't. I got up at like 3, or I'd worked through the night. And you go, why am I lying? That's interesting. I must know
that it's
the pattern is unhealthy. But and you start to be a absolute chaotic mess in the same way you would if you were doing drugs, or people would look at you going, are you okay? That looks like you're wearing yesterday's clothes, or you look really shit. So it's the same, it manifests in the same way. You just have to get over the shame of people going, it's basically a humble brag in it. You're going, oh, I'm so successful, I'm working so much. But
we're quite happy that you are, because of the prolific...
But that's interesting, isn't it? I've realised it's the only...
That's not helpful.
But it's the only addiction...
Sorry.
But no, it's great. I love it. But it's the only addiction where everyone wants you to have it.
Wants you to carry on.
Everyone goes,
because
great.
it's so...
Yeah.
But, so what is your day like for someone who works very hard?
There's no normal day, which is brilliant.
What time do you get up?
I'm not going to lie. No. It's got later. Like, I've realised that I love sleep. I really like sleep as I've gotten older. So I do like working early. There's something psychological about feeling like you're ahead. And there's still definitely something about not growing up in the arts world and parents having proper jobs. There's something about going, I need to tell myself it's a proper job. I can't waft around the house, do 500 words in the afternoon. I've got to work.
So you
So
get up...
6:30, 7.
Oh, that's quite early.
Yeah, and try
And
to...
do you have coffee first?
have coffee, yeah. Make a little French press of coffee. I'm not a coffee snob at all, but I do, big old pot of coffee, which I'll get through.
Breakfast?
I don't wake up massively hungry. But then when I'm like with friends, like if I stay with some friends and things, I love it. I have a big old...
You like a full English,
I love a little full English, or like a lovely yogurt, granola, fruit, honey. That's great. Intellectually, the idea of... I'm quite lucky. I've got like a nice garden here in London. And intellectually, I understand that what would make me dead happy would be to protect 30 minutes in the morning where you go out with a lovely bowl of fruit or something
And sit
out there and not do anything, just like be in your head.
Yeah.
And every morning I find myself at my computer with my coffee, but like just doing that.
So you don't have your breakfast. Do you stop for 11s or do you go out and exercise? Or
I go to the gym. I like running. But the amazing thing about being a playwright or a screenwriter is people drag you out the house because you've got stuff to do. You've got to be in a rehearsal, you've got to be on set, or you've got to go to some auditions. You're not like a novelist. You can't put yourself in a log cabin and do 500 words a day. So most of my life actually is in meetings. I've got to really protect the work time, which is also possibly why I get up at 6 in the morning. But I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful that most of my days are surrounded by other people making the work rather than just being in my own head.
And do you work always in the same place? You like to work in your study or at home?
I move around quite a bit, actually. Upstairs, I've got a little office or in the garden or in my kitchen.
Oh, so you take your laptop everywhere?
Yeah, I move it around. But most of the time, you get like 12 minutes between the things. So you're be in a cafe or on a train. The number of lines I've written between Stockport and Crewe. It's not romantic, but you just got to do it.
So what we have here is chicken with saffron and honey and orange dressing, chili, basil, I think coriander's in there, mint, fennel. It's from Jerusalem, the cookbook.
Amazing.
That's ottolenghi and Sammy Tamimi.
Lovely.
And then this one is also an ottolenghi, but it's from his Ottolenghi Simple, and it's a roasted cauliflower with pomegranates, pistachios, hazelnuts, and loads of other herbs.
God, doesn't look simple.
It's Ottolenghi Simple. That's why they called that the cookbook, Ottolenghi Simple.
Great.
And then there's some bread if you want some.
How gorgeous, thank you.
So please help yourself.
I do like a bit of kick, like a chili.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Here we go.
Oh, God, no pressure.
God, the orange.
It's good, isn't it?
She's zesty.
Yeah. She's zesty.
She's zesty, but also spicy. I always amazes me how something can be so light and yet full.
Sammy Tamimi and Yotam Ottolenghi are incredible. So it's all them. It's not me at all.
This is the thing that would have freaked me out as a kid.
Really?
Just all the bits, like all the complicated bits in it. I wouldn't know what to do with it. Now I love it, but I had to train myself.
Well, then you kind of were in the land of lovies and you had to kind of go out for dinners all the time.
Joe Sheiky's and the Ivy, you had to just sort yourself out.
Do you have like a tradition of somewhere that you go post a show opening?
Even though I just joked, Jay Sheiky's.
I've never been there.
I love it.
Oh my God. I mean, I didn't know it was a thing. Because of where it is in the West End.
Yeah.
It's kind of between a lot of theatres. And I was it's going to sound like a humble brag. I was very lucky. One year I had 2 plays on the same street, St Martin's Lane, which they should have renamed.
Which ones?
James Graham's Passage or something. That sounds weird.
I love that.
Going to go down James's Passage.
Let's go down James Graham's Passage.
I wish.
I love that.
And what I really love, because I've often eat alone, because I'm working, what I've discovered I love is if you can sit at the bar on a high stool and face away from other people, but face the kitchen or face a barman. It's a lovely way to eat on your own. I discovered that in New York, I think, when I was working out there, and just because you're there for months and months and months on your own. New York's a great place to be on your own, and they just have a culture of sitting at a bar, even in a pub, sit at a bar, and I love that. So yeah, for some reason, Jay Sheiky's on the last night of any run of a play in the West End. I go there and.
Do you go on your own?
Go on my own. I like a moment on my own. Often I'll go there with like, friends or loved ones or cast members, but that's a moment when I just sort of go on my own and try to, very unusual for me, take the moment of going, so that was nice. I had to play in the West End. That was good. Well done. And have a little whiskey and champagne or some oysters and then go see the.
Do you like oysters?
That's a beautiful tradition.
Yeah, very inconsistent for someone who's worried about food.
With your cornflakes, yeah.
Exactly. Frosties, no way. What a slimy thing that's alive down your throat. Yeah, that's great. For some reason, but I think it's the ritual of it, like the ceremony and the sharing of it, like you're doing something together, which I love. Yeah, it's great. It's what theatre is. Theatre is beautiful to me because it's one of the last things that you can only do in proximity with other people. It doesn't work without other people. And I thought about that a lot during lockdown. Why theatre is amazing, and actually why I think, in any conversation about AI and the future, theatre's going to be fine. Like, it survived 2,000 years, and it's going to keep going because. And I think a younger generation is coming to the theatre because we've become more atomised, and entertainment and culture is shared privately. That feeling, very similar to going to a football match, and celebrating together is like just a human need. And there was a study, I think it was University College London, that did a study of people's heart rates when they sit in a theatre, and something happens in like the 10th minute when everyone's heart rates start to line up. And it only happens about, I think it's something specifically about watching a story. So it doesn't happen necessarily with classical music, but if you watch and share a story together in the same space.
That's amazing.
I know it sounds really cheesy and sentimental. It's romantic, but I think we have to hear those things and remember those things because we are becoming more unconnected. And like it devastates me that a younger generation, the biggest problem is loneliness. And you think, how can we, with all these devices in our pocket that are designed to connect us, and like young men in particular are lonely. Can't bear it, really can't bear it.
But it's not real connection, is it?
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like social media. So you have the exhaustion of having to perform and narrate your own life rather than be like, this is the Gareth Southgate thing, and this is why I know. And he wouldn't characterise it as this, and I think he wrongly is perceived, his experiment, his project was wrongly perceived as being like woolly and woke and progressive, because it's about feelings and vulnerability, but actually it was all about strength, like men being stronger by sharing the things that they're all sharing and actually talking about it. He identified that before him we had this golden generation of players that just couldn't sync up, couldn't be a team, and they've spoken about that, like Gerrard and Rooney. They were just like, we just didn't trust each other, we didn't like each other, we didn't know each other. We didn't know what England was. Like, we had a very clear club identity, rituals and symbols and history and legacy and story. And then they turned up at England and they were just told to go and play. And Gareth just recognised immediately that what you have to, if you're going to trust each other, if you're going to take risks, if you're going to be creative, you have to know each other and like each other. And that's not weak. That's like to go, I'm scared, are you scared, is about the strongest thing anyone can do. And I find it so amazing. And I try to celebrate that in this TV drama because I do think he's mischaracterised as being, he did it, people think he did it because it was just nice, it was the nice thing to do. It was the nice thing to do, but also it worked. They became a better football team, and we've had a series of better results in 150 years. It's like extraordinary. But you did that by, like, his story for a young man of resilience, like what he went through when he missed this penalty in 1996, which is where we start, and then 20 years later he comes back, and it's him. It's so, like, as a writer, how did I get lucky enough to find this story? He is the one who fixes the penalty curse. England had never won a World Cup penalty shootout. And he's the one who walked into this room and went, I think we have a problem. They didn't even practice penalties before him.
I mean, that was mad about the timing.
Yeah.
That the Germans, who were the best penalty takers, took 7 seconds.
Yeah, 3
and
times.
we were the fastest.
We were the fastest in the world. We didn't practice them. We didn't talk about them. And like classic, let's just pretend they don't exist. And it obviously didn't work. And he used his own trauma to go, I think we have a problem, how are we going to fix that? And I think that story of resilience, like as a young man, there's so many negative stories about young men at the moment, aren't there? And
the manosphere
and do we perpetuate a crisis of masculinity? But I keep saying there's a crisis of masculinity. But him going, how do you behave as a young man if something bad happens to you? Or if you fail? Do you get angry, resentful, blame the world? Or do you use it to come back better next time? And I can't think of a better example of a guy who just went, let's just like come back better and do that together. I think it's so gorgeous as a story.
When did it come to you to make the play?
I was in a pub, which is all the best ideas come from. I was in a pub garden watching, it was Russia 2018, the first World Cup. I think it was Colombia, England.
When it went to penalties.
When it went to penalties, and they, for the first time ever, won. But even before that, I think I was watching in the second half, and I remember hearing people talking about it and me agreeing. They just felt different. We had fallen out of love with our players and the age of like tabloids and wags and bad behaviour, and I think some of that was really unfair on those players. But this was a younger generation, the youngest team we'd ever put out in since I think the 1920s, and they just felt good. They felt like good men. And I thought I just was really curious about how somebody, I remember the age of the waistcoat, and he was presenting a kind of English gentleman.
Was it 2016?
2008. He took her in 2016, and that was 18 was his first World Cup. I remember like speaking to my mum on the phone, and she was going, I just like them. I don't know why. They just feel like good men. And I thought, how do you go into any workplace and change like the culture of it, especially football, which is, traditional and old. I just found that really curious. So I remember calling the FA. You have to be really bolshy and just like call prime ministers and say, I want to do a play about you. And they were really kind. And they said, we get offers a lot. We get like documentary offers and things, which we always turn down. But there's something about a play, particularly for the National Theatre. They thought that's interesting. But they basically said, can you wait? Because it's a 3-act structure. And Gareth had in his head this 3-act structure, beginning, middle, and end.
You were like, that's music to my ears. I can wait.
I'll absolutely wait. We're only in Act 1.
So Gareth had the idea for the 3 acts.
He basically, one of the main things that he identified, and I think this is applicable across our national life. In football, he identified that one of our problems was we just chase the quick fix. A new manager arrives, get the players on, and just like try and find this. And we as fans were as responsible for that problem, because we were going, we need to win now, rather than going what the Germans did. Do you remember when the Germans lost to us 5-1?
Yeah.
I think in 2000.
Everyone had socks with 5-1 on. From Sainsbury's. Yeah.
It was a great moment, not for the Germans, and so traumatised were the Germans by losing to us that badly. They engaged on a decade-long project of renewal. They called it Das Reboot, and in a very German way, when this cannot happen again, we can't lose to the English this badly. So they took a decade to root and branch.
Yeah, and they started a really young, inexperienced.
They changed the training program. They changed how they organised.
That was because they lost to England. That's kind of amazing.
I know. So they're welcome, and then 10 years they come back and they win the World Cup again. And we never do that in any part of our national life, even in our politics right now. And we don't allow for it to happen. We don't go, this is going to take a decade. But imagine if we'd done that 10 years ago. Energy policy, housing, anything would be okay now. And we just never have the courage to go this.
Because people want quick fixes.
And I get why it's really, because things are really bad. So we want it to turn around very quickly. But what you need to do that successfully is have a really good storyteller. Gareth was a really good storyteller. He said, this is going to take time. We might not win the first one, but we hope to win the third one. So they had a clock. It's in the drama. They had a clock that was counting down to the third tournament, just so the players went, calm down. Mm-hmm. We don't have to do this tomorrow.
But so when he wrote the Dear England letter, were you just like, thank you? So Southgate. I mean, honestly,
it's a work of art. Like, put it in the loo.
It's a beautiful piece.
It's gorgeous. And like, just read it. It's and I'd already decided to do the play by then. I'd already spoken to the team. I'd spoken to the National. They'd said, "Can you wait?" And it was going quicker than they imagined. So I think their plan was to get to the semi-final in the Euros that we hosted, and they got to the final. And then the plan was meant to get to a final in Qatar and win that. And obviously that didn't. Spoilers. Didn't happen. Doesn't matter. We were on our way to winning. So they were ahead. But that letter, I don't, no disrespect to previous England managers, but when you read the language in it,
beautiful,
and like just treating us as grown-ups and going like things like, why do we care so much? Why do we behave the way we behave? He talked about conduct, which I just love, and it's why I don't necessarily understand why some of his detractors, particularly on, let's say, the small c conservative side of things that would prefer a different strategy, don't celebrate a patriotic Englishman going, it's not just about results, it's how you conduct yourself, it's how you behave as men on the pitch and as fans and as women and as families and everyone. It's how you behave. He wrote that and I just thought it was so beautiful. But what he also wrote, I think the sentence is, and it made me realise he's the State of the Nation playwright we needed. I think the sentence is, why it matters so much is every football match when England plays, it sees itself, we are all part of a collective that sees itself into the national consciousness. They had an England football manager saying that, but in the national consciousness, that what we're all doing in any part of our lives is contributing to a story and making new memories that we share for each other. And the fact that he described that as being, that's why I'm here. He wanted to make new memories for people. I just think it's so beautiful.
I'm interested with somebody you work so hard and fast, but also with such amazing output.
That's so lovely. Thank you.
Oh, good, pleasure. Writing a musical.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Because you've got to wait for someone like Jake Shears to, no doubt Jake's one of the best writers, and Elton John, you're kind of waiting for that bit of it. Was it quite frustrating, or did you kind of understand patience?
You learn a lot about yourself because, you're not in control of everything, and that's great as well, because you're sharing the...
Tammy Faye we're talking about.
Faye, which
I'm so annoyed I didn't see.
To the West End. We
did really well at the Almeida.
It did incredible in the Almeida. It was like...
did not do well at all on Broadway. And
which,
one of those,
I know, it was probably... But it's...
Well,
and
it's
I'm really
American
sorry about that.
audience.
But
thank you. But
explain what Tammy Faye's about. Maybe that's why it didn't do well on Broadway.
Possibly. I've thought about it a lot. I don't think I've completely understood that moment. But like in a Gareth Southgate, Pippa Grange, where I try and go, well, what was that? Like, failure is an important part of your life, and what was I in control of? What can I learn from it? What was I not in control of? Was it always destined to fail? So Tammy Faye was a musical. I wrote you call it the book, but the script, which is sort of how you structure the story and the dialogue. Jake Shears, amazing friend of yours, like Scissor Sisters guy, he wrote the lyrics, and Elton John, which was amazing.
This is an incredible trio.
It was really lovely to spend time with these people who I just admire and adore. He wrote the music, and so the rhythm of that is, I worked a lot with Jake directly on the story. So you go, here's how I'm going to shape the story of this televangelist who, despite coming from that world of sort of right-wing Christian America, found a really beautifully tolerant, progressive version of her faith, whereby she was the first person, I think, to have an AIDS patient on her evangelical show. And she really celebrated him and celebrated gays in the church, and the church turned against her. And she was this incredible figure of defiance and celebration, like a beautiful woman, who was also very complicated. She bankrupted loads of people, and she said she didn't know all the money she was taking in on excessive glamour and houses and cars and really lovely, meaty, complicated stuff. Ripe for a musical. And it's also Elton's world, like that gospel stuff. So it just felt great. So I would work on the story and how I would shape it. You would say, I'd say to Jake, here, I think is the next scene. So what's the song? What is a song? What's my work? What's your work? He'd write lyrics. I'd go back and forth. It was great, really collaborative. And then you get an email from Elton, who's then written the music, and you click it, and it's the feeling when you know you're like maybe the second or third person hearing a new Elton John song in the world. I just absolutely loved it. So it was different, and you have to really leave your ego at the door. Like, basically no one gives a shit about the book writer. People come to music cause for the songs. And so what you're in the service of is that, and it's kind of really
they
pure.
come for the story.
They do, but I don't think they think of it in those terms, and rightly so. You just go, I'm here to serve this story and to serve this music. And it went really well in London.
It went amazingly. It was sold out.
It was sold out.
Couldn't Katie Braben got an Olivier Award for it.
It was amazing.
Yeah, and we couldn't get a ticket.
And I was supposed to go on the last night, and I was sick or something.
No, we were sick.
Oh, you were sick?
We had COVID broke out in the company.
That's what happened.
We had to cancel it, yeah.
And then you go to Broadway, and it gets taken off quite early.
Really, it was like, you have to own it. And the other thing we don't talk about.
It was 2 months.
It was about that. It was probably less than 2 months.
Less than 2 months.
It was one of those that will go like in the history books where it goes, it was bad.
Could you feel it happening when you were there? Were you like, what's going on?
I knew something was wrong. You could feel so there was not either the mood wasn't right, or there were challenges as well. Again, it's no one's fault, but we were in a really big theatre, possibly too big, and we had to fill that. I also think there was understandable questions about, even though Jake is American, it was a British transfer of an American story. It was a very difficult moment in America at that time. It was we opened during the election in 2024, the second election of Trump. Very violent time in America, a very upsetting time. And I get that, and I really respect that. And for some reason, you have to go, was it slightly the work? Was it my work? Was it the work? And was it the wrong time? Was it the wrong place? But for some reason, it just didn't take. But it's definitely not the audience's fault. It's definitely not the theatre's fault.
I think you could bring it back to London.
But would you bring it back to the West End?
Yeah, that's.
Or does it feel a bit raw still?
It'd be really brave to go, we're going to try it again. And that has happened. Shows have failed and then come back and been brilliant.
Didn't
Les Mis got the worst reviews.
Oh, really?
It really died in its first run in Stratford. 1 star, 2 stars, and it's been running for 20 years. So you can learn from it.
And Merrily We Roll Along, I think, didn't really do what it did.
Yeah.
Was it it's Sondheim, isn't it? And then it's just had this huge moment on Broadway with Jonathan Groff and Daniel Radcliffe, and now they're making it into a movie and with Richard Linklater. So I would like you to bring it to the West End.
Well, but also, you could take it back to the Almeida for a second run and then move it on slowly.
I think the work that Jake and Elton did, I think is really beautiful. And that's what of all the many complicated feelings you have when you have something doesn't work. And like, the thing I don't think we've ever comfortable talking about, like, is humiliation. I was embarrassed. I was like really embarrassed.
Were you?
Yeah. You want
do you know
people
what I
to
think?
be...
I think, fuck off. What
no,
do you
it's
know?
easy for you to say, Mum, but your name isn't the one on the in the lights.
But I think I would have...
And you feel responsible for a cast, and you feel...
God, it's really hard if you're in that world as an actor. People had their first Broadway job, they moved to New York. I felt them for the company really, really heartbreaking. And of course you go, what could I have done if I'd have fixed that, if I'd have done that? And I know there's not much I could have done. But you do, you feel the public embarrassment of it, because of course you want people to think you're good at your job and what you do. And
can we fast forward into Punch has gone to the Broadway,
Broadway,
and it's done very, very well.
Ink went to Broadway, and that was lovely. And so I don't know why my plays, but musicals are hard.
Musicals are famously
expensive and hard. And
would you ever do another one?
Without a doubt, I'd dive into it immediately. And
really?
Even with the potential for failure, and I think only 4 musicals have made their money back this century. They're really, really hard to get right.
Which is your favourite musical?
I love Les Mis. I think the music's beautiful.
I've never seen it.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's romantic and it's very 80s.
I'm going to see Into the Woods tonight.
Into the Woods is a gorgeous
I've heard it's
thing.
amazing
really
at the Bridge Theatre.
And I love... Oh, God, it was like Blood Brothers growing up for me.
Oh, my God,
yeah.
It's not true.
Living on the Never Never.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, really great. Love that. Yeah. Yeah. I love them because they are unapologetically emotional. Like, they're just about big feels.
I'm going to start asking you about some food stuff, okay?
Yeah.
You've got to think about your Last Supper.
Yeah.
Starter, main, pud, drink of choice.
Yeah.
You can think about this for a bit.
Thank you. Well, I knew it was coming.
But I also, you cook, do you?
Enough. It's
when he remembers to eat.
It's my future ambition to really protect
So
time
do you have
cook
people
more.
around for dinner?
Very, very rarely. But my future ambition, I've just done my kitchen up and it's ready. It's ready to be a host venue. So, and I'm really looking forward to it. Like
So what's your meal that you think you could cook?
I have a trauma I need to get over, which is, I remember when I first moved into my place and I wanted to get the neighbours round, and for some reason I decided to cook this. I'd had it in Poland, this Polish soup.
The sour soup. The
Yeah,
rye sour soup.
It's got like a sausage and an egg.
Yeah, it's delicious.
It's like a
dill.
That's
really left field.
It's a really left field. It's like probably a really hot day, but I had it in my head, and it takes like 4 hours something of like really slow.
Why did you do that?
Because I'm stupid, and it ended like this. You have to strain it at the end, I think, because of all the onions and herbs. And I heard the door go, and my neighbours were arriving. And I went, okay, great, I'll just strain it. And I put the colander in the sink and poured it into the colander.
There's
and
nothing
underneath. And I remember it was going, and I saw it go down, and I remember just putting it down, having a moment, and then answering the door. I said, hi, come in. I'm so sorry, there's no food. I just poured it down the sink. And they could tell they knew I wasn't lying because of the state. Like, clearly food had been made in my kitchen. And I just poured it down the sink.
Oh, mate, that's
and I remember
so
just
Bridget
sitting down
Jones
and
of
Bruce
you.
was going, and then answering the door. And
mate.
I think the sausage and egg was still in the sink. So
what did you have for dinner?
I think I ordered delivery, yeah. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
And you've never cooked again.
Never cooked again. So what? I'd like to overcome that trauma somehow. But
So one of my questions I'd like to ask, because I'm thinking about people having music on in the background. What sort of soundtrack do you like to listen to?
again, it's really naff and sentimental. I love film scores, they're instrumental.
Do you?
And like Max Richter or Philip Glass. And I think because they're connected to narrative and because you might know the narrative. I saw a ballet at the Opera House that Max Richter wrote about Virginia Woolf and her.
Oh, wow.
Really beautiful, really beautiful. So anything that's just stirring and epic, or Hans Zimmer and all that stuff. It can be intense.
Yeah.
Because you have to think about soundtracks for your theatre and your plays.
Sometimes, and that's the gorgeous thing when you get to work with people who compose. So the composer for Dear England, Cormac, or I'm working with someone called Daniel Pemberton at the moment on my Ink film. When they've interpreted your story and they come back with this score, I think for Dear England, I remember the moment they went to this huge church, this city, I think in Europe, in Hungary, and they have an orchestra and they're playing it, and you go, and that's a really lovely, moving thing. I mean, I know this is second nature to you, but when someone's interpreted your story and translated that into a different language and like a score, and that's really beautiful. I love that.
Last Supper, come on.
I think it's probably a cop-out. But the reason why I'm going to say it is, given my previous younger version of self that was quite frightened about food, one of my discoveries, a group of friends, we try to protect a weekend every year. We will go to some random European city and make sure it's not Paris or Rome. We went to Tallinn and we went to Helsinki and Krakow. And one of the things we do...
Sour soup, was that because you did...
That was the soup.
Oh my...
Yep.
Great weekend then.
Great, yeah. I discovered that I love tasting menus.
You do?
Which is so strange. So the extended 9-course meal, particularly when you get the pairing wines, and I think because of the story, the theatre, where you're going on a journey, and there's normally some kind of narrative. Went to this place, is it Relay in Copenhagen? And it's got a story, and it's from the local region, and it's all local ingredients, and it's about. So I think going on a journey like that. So partly because I think it would delay my death by having a 9-course tasting menu that lasts 3 hours, but something about the rhythm of that 9 dishes, paired wine, could be anything. I don't mind if it's foraged Norwegian-y stuff or if it's sumptuous Polish food. The theatre of the story, and just taking your time. And every course you have a 10-minute break and you chat to your mates and you take a photo.
Okay, so tasting menu. Yeah. We're not going specific on the food.
I don't think so. Well,
drink. What drink are we doing?
So paired wine. So start.
Oh wow! Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I'll hand that to the gods / sommelier, so it's up to them. But I guess you start on a little blush maybe, or some champagne, some fizz, move through the white into the red.
Are you finishing on a whiskey?
Yes.
Which whiskey are you finishing on?
With whiskey.
I love whiskey too. I like it quite peaty.
Yeah, me too, and smoky.
Yeah. Oh, let's go do a whiskey tasting together. It's my favourite thing. I never remember. Yeah, I'd love to do that.
I love it. I love whiskey so much because I'm just saying the same things over and over again, but because of the story of whiskey, no disrespect to vodka or even wine, like fine, but what 6 months? Whereas whiskey, like I think to be called single malt, it has to be a minimum of 12 years. But when you get like a single malt that's 21 years, 28 years, the idea that like 3 decades ago, some people put this in a cask and wheeled it into a warehouse on a mountain, and it just sat there quietly, and then you get to taste it. And with a single malt, like on like a blend, which is often like hundreds of whiskies poured together to make a blend, a single malt is just the product of that distillery at that time in that place. You
are such a romantic, James.
I feel like I deflect because I have had like loads of issues with like intimacy and things like that, and as I've said, relationships. Whereas I think my ability to then deflect romance onto something else, like a whiskey or a moment in our political history, I love all that. But I'm sure it's because I do it less in my personal life than
well, but I would love to drink whiskey with you.
That would be great.
And maybe just get quite drunk as well. Fine.
Yeah. Oh,
great,
we're not
perfect.
spitting it out.
No.
We're
having snacks with that.
Well, the purists would say no.
No.
You can't take the whiskey. Do you have ice?
No.
There's no shame. I don't know why I did that.
I like a little of water.
Well,
God, James, what, is this good or bad?
So what's amazing about that?
I just lost my day.
No, you're bang on. So the misconception about water in whiskey is it dilutes it. It doesn't. This is really romantic. It makes it know itself more.
Oh, stop! I love it.
Like, just with a little encouragement, it opens itself up and is the best version of itself.
Just like our James Graham with
just
the
like
tasting.
what Gareth Southgate did to the England football team.
So I've made something called a Lisbon chocolate cake, and I don't know why it's called that. So it's basically a cake with chocolate mousse on the top. Would you like some?
Of course
Tell
I would.
Tell me how much.
Yeah, slither
less.
Yeah. Thank you.
Pussy.
What did I talk about? My food trauma? You just
wow, Mum.
Don't food shame. That's big, but I'm very excited.
Yeah, you don't have to eat it all.
Oh, shut up.
Right.
Yes, Mum.
Do you want some? Come on, Mum. I want half of that. That looks amazing, Mum. Look at that. Half and half.
Really beautiful.
Let's see. Who knows? I've never made it before. What do you think?
There's a lot going on. It's melting. Oh.
Moist.
It's moist, deep, confident. It knows itself. It's not shy.
Shush.
That's really good.
Oh, God, beautiful.
That is good, Mum.
I like it.
I think that's a winner. But was it a faff?
Yeah.
Okay. Just so you know, enjoy every mouthful, James.
It was a faff, but not a terrible faff.
Before we let you go.
Yes, thank you for my pudding.
It's a pleasure.
What is a nostalgic taste that can transport you back somewhere? Happy or sad?
Definitely not Polish soup. Well, can it be liquid? Does that have to be food? Like whiskey?
Taste, yeah.
Whiskey just puts me in a...
Which one?
I would say like an Islay whiskey, like a PT1. So you've got things like Lagavulin, Lafroig. It makes me think of my family. It makes me think of my dad. He was a big whiskey drinker and still is. And I enjoy those moments of having it with him as a of-age young man and talking about the world. Makes me think of Scotland, and like my first ever play was at the Edinburgh Festival, and I still to this day, my tradition is at the beginning of every first preview, the first night, I'll sit in the back with a whiskey, and so it's not really a treat because I have it like every day, but it does do a memory.
Do you always
thing.
have one before you go to bed?
No, no, I just do cat. No, but I do. I always have one on the very first preview of a play.
Thanks for being on the
so much for having
podcast.
me.
You've been amazing.
I've really loved speaking. Thank you.
And
thank you for coming to see my plays. I don't take that for granted.
I see everything.
Thank you.
James Graham so much. I mean, he's the most modest person I think I've ever met.
The humility of the man.
He was the most unlikely person to give a tasting menu as well.
But also, he was romantic about the whole setting and how he would eat it and the rhythm of it and everything.
James Graham, what a star, modest star and brilliant man, and just writing incredible pieces of theatre and stories for us to all devour. Dear England is on BBC and you're going to love it. It tells our story of the England football team and Gareth Southgate being such an absolute genius.
And a gent.
Dear England starts on BBC on the 24th of May and you all have to watch it. Even if you saw the play, which loads of you did.
And I defy you to not have Sweet Caroline in your head forevermore.
Thank you, James, for coming on. I thought the recipes were really good today.
Yeah.
Such an easy salad to do, even for Ottolenghi standards.
Yeah, fabulous.
I do feel like I've got herbs everywhere in every nook.
I was trying to move them around with my tongue.
Me too.
Yeah, but it wasn't very successful.
I still am.
I really needed a toothpick.
Your
you like
chocolate mousse was
my
great.
Lisbon. It wasn't chocolate mousse, it was Lisbon chocolate cake.
Okay, it was a chocolate mousse cake.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, James, for the wine. My cheeks are flushed, and we'll see you next week.